Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another game of the Toulouse Sevens. This one, Fiji versus USA. Now, this game is very important. We've just seen the other side of this group, France versus South Africa, in which the French home side were able to get themselves a victory, 31 points to 7. But now this game for Fiji and the USA, both doing relatively well over the past couple legs of the Sevens. Fiji getting themselves third in the Singapore Sevens competition. I'm very curious to see who gets the better of this contest. Looking through at the starting lineup, it will be Fiji inside, looking like Josefa Talatholo, Manueli Maisamoa, Josesi Batitaringa, Waisena Tungu, Jerry Tawai, an experienced veteran for the Sevens circuit. I'm excited to see what he can do. Satu Ranga and also Viva Nadolvalo, the last man. And that starting side for the Fijians. Then for the USA, it is Steve Thomasine, Joe Schroeder, David Still, going to be there. Kevon Williams, looking forward to seeing that man in action. Afaitala Talapusi, Malachi Isdale, and Lucas Lacamp, the last man in the starting side. But France currently, as we sit, they are at the top of the bunch in this group. Having that experience of Jerry Tawai is going to be absolutely massive, I feel, for the Fijians. He has 140 tries to his name in the Sevens circuit. And this is going to be a game he might just be able to add one or two more. But the thing is, I feel at times he doesn't even search for the tries himself. He always tries to set up those younger teammates that he's got. And that just shows how much skill that he actually possesses to be able to take that moment to work out, right, I could pass it off to him. Get him some confidence early on in his Sevens career. And hi, Hamish says, Ollie is the best. Welcome in, mate. You are doing very well. This is the first game for both of these sides of the Toulouse 7. The next, Fiji will be taking on South Africa. That is at 7:03 a.m. New Zealand time, and that is the next Sevens game that we are covering on the channel. Now, it is currently 1 a.m. New Zealand time, so the plan will be we will do this match, we will get ready for bed, we will go to sleep for about 5.5 hours if we're very lucky, and then we'll be back up. Yeah, no, it won't be 5.5. It'll be about 5. And then we'll be back up ready to go for another day of the Sevens, Super Rugby, and the URC. I'm great. Thanks. How are you? I'm doing very well. Been a busy day, but plenty of rugby on this weekend. That should be very exciting indeed. Now the Fijians on the halfway line ready to go for this matchup. A few Fijian supporters in attendance, which is always nice to see. And knock, says Ollie is the best. Who is there, Ollie? I assume this is a rugby-related knock joke. Maybe. And now it's going to be kicked off by Waisena Tungu. Fijians going from left to right in this matchup. Manueli Maisamoa just didn't quite have the headgear done up. They did have to wait for that to happen, and now they are back underway, ready to go for another leg of the Sevens for both of these two sides. Nicely taken by Isdale, maybe caught a little bit high from Nadolvalo for the first shot on him. Now going off to Lucas Lacamp's wing. Big fend there from the USA number 12. Richie McCaw. Richie McCaw who? Ollie. Now nice pass off. Kevon Williams. Ball on the outside. Now David Still, he is an I almost said FL player, but NFL player. The advantage now in favour of the USA for the high tackle. Steve Thomasine looking to find the break in the line. Schroeder got the ball, but they will go back for the original penalty. He is now on the mark, considered taking quickly, but decided against it. Tosaviti says Savinatha there. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. How far do you feel the Fijians will get in this competition? Do let me know. At the moment, they do sit third in the overall standings, which I feel is very impressive because they haven't taken out a gold medal as of yet in this series, but they've always been able to get right up there, whether that is finishing in second, third, fourth. They keep on adding those points. So they've got the automatic Olympic qualification pretty much secured at the moment. Watching all the way from South Africa, says Catligo. Welcome in. What's the South African side is actually who the Fijians will play next in about 6 hours' time. Lucas Lacamp now, big fend on Nathungu, and that will be the first try of the contest. And Lucas Lacamp, the quick step in number 12, gets them underway. That's a very good early try to get up against the Fijians as well. Try and catch them off guard while they weren't quite maybe concentrated as well as they could have been. Nathungu was the man who missed the tackle. That is something you don't say from him too often. Waisen Natungu, 51st Sevens series, 51st Sevens league, I should say. Alongside that, he's already scored himself 133 tries, and France just beat the hell out of us. Yeah, it was a pretty one-sided affair, a lot more one-sided than I expected, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a close game. There's a parrot called McCaw. At least it's not Richie. Okay. Okay. I think Richie McCaw was at that thingy coronation in England, wasn't he? I think Richie McCaw got the invite. One of the All Blacks greats. We kicked off high. Now going just the 10 metres, Joe Schroeder taps it back onto the side of the USA, but they say there's a knock on there. Okay, there was a knock on from the US. It's going to be a scrum feed now for Fiji. Fiji is going to beat us by 30 points, says Catlego. Although, the thing is, South Africa are one of those sides that I feel like if they have one bad game, they're going to play well in their next. So I have this weird feeling that up against the Fijians, they're actually going to go pretty well. I feel like that first game was their warm-up. Now they've realized, right, we need to do a bit better here. They've got 6 hours to prepare for that next contest. The ball is now going to be fed through the legs of the Fijians. Natungu going back across with the wide cutout pass. Now Nadovalo down the wing, back in his space, but he's going to be tackled by Esdale, who puts him into touch, but he did get the kick away just in time. Lucas the Cam, brilliant pick up there from the United States, number 12. He has been taken down with the ankle tap, though. Now Schrader goes across. David still shut down by Talathola. The Fijian captain wins New Zealand playing next. They are playing at 4 a.m. or 4:20 or 4:10 a.m. up against the Kenyans, I believe, is the next game that they have got. Steve Thomasin taken down once again just outside of that 22. David still now charging at the line. Now, I will apologize for the scoreboard. It hasn't realized that the game started, but it's about to have to update again. There we go. It's just done it. Kevon Williams has added another 7 points on. And the Fijians now sitting 12-0 down. More than likely 14, unless something drastically goes wrong with this next kick. Kevon Williams taking some deep breaths there. This might not be too successful of a start. It's interesting, though, because this is the first game for the USA and for Fiji. South Africa lost their first game. Samoa lost their first game. Fiji may lose their first game, which would actually mean the only side who finished in that top 4 in last competition, which was Singapore, New Zealand, they would be the only side out of the top 4 who actually have won a game. If that is the case. Now, we are still very early in this contest. 12-0, in fact, 14 now. Not looking too flash. And USA teams always have pace, even without Baker and Isles, says Annoy there. And that is somewhere where they have benefited. They always get those guys who are quick, either used to be in the NFL or used to run track, like some of David Still. Lucas LeCamp, he is a young player that I think has got a huge amount of talent and a massive future. That is going to be another penalty in favor of the USA. They can now slow this one down with just 100 seconds remaining in the first half. They do score quite a bit off the set piece, the USA, 37%. How they do normally score their tries. Going for the scrum. My support buddy Denver took me and read out on Friday to play mini golf. Cried because he lost. Says Ollie, I mean, mini golf can be a frustrating game. I remember when me, George, and Daniel, we went down south, played some mini golf. We went all right, I think. I might have won that. I think actually, no, I remember I did now because I was a bit cheeky because on the final hole, there were about 3 points or 3 shots between us. One of the others were in the lead, and then I got a hole in one and kind of ruined it for everyone. Now, Batitaringa. Now moving forward. Going to be available now for the Fijians with 40 seconds remaining. Another quick step. This time, Jerry Tuai. Where is he lurking? There he is. He's got the Zans on the ball. Still got a brilliant step on him. Nice inside ball to Josefa Talatholo. Look for the offload, but once again, it is a loose carry from the Fijians. Ball available now for Malachi Esdale. As Schroeder, the USA version of Mickelson. Little bit. I think he's a tad bigger than Mickelson, if I'm not wrong, like in terms of the height side of things. But yeah, Mickelson actually back for this leg, which is quite incredible for the Kiwis. He'll be looking forward to that. I mean, I've got some stats here. You look at Mickelson, 91 events, and he's got himself 235 tries. That's a massive player to have back for New Zealand. Looks like Thomasin's got a little bit of blood coming out of the nose at the moment. There's still going to be one more chance. Certainly is. Kevon Williams now with the line out. USA, they've got a 14-0 lead. They could just kick this ball into touch and accept that. But instead, kind of looks like they want one last crack. That was almost forward. And it's stolen by Fiji. That's a massive, massive mistake from the USA. That means that Natungu's going to run in an easy 7 points for the Fijians, and that closes the gap a little bit. Rather than it being 14 points to 0 at halftime, it's now 14 points to 7. That's heaps of tries. Yeah, that is more than a majority of teams in the competition combined, it's pretty impressive. That is more tries than Marcos Maneta, Luciano Gonzalez, and also Rodrigo Isgro. Pretty much those three combined for Argentina. It's more than Josefa Talatholo, Mothino Thangi, Waisi and Nathungu combined. And it's almost 100 more than Jerry Tawai has scored throughout his career. The Fijians, 14 points to 7 down at the moment. And after soccer, we could play mini golf. And after soccer, play mini golf. Wait, so did you play soccer before it, or did you play it after? Mike Friday trying to rack up his USA side. Do they use the word rack in the USA, or is that just like a Kiwi and Aussie thing? Would a USA viewer, if we have got any, rack, is rack a word that you use? Like kind of fire up, rack him up. Something that maybe just a Kiwi and Aussie thing. Is he the top record scorer? Still guys ahead. I believe he's very close to the top. I can quickly actually have a look in the stats department while we are at halftime. We'll go stats. We'll go men's stats, player stats, tries scored. Have they got all time? Oh, they might not have all time scoring, unfortunately. Oh, no, all-time player stats. That's what we're after. Tries scored. The leading try scorer is Dan Norton on 358. Then it goes Collins Injera for Kenya, Perry Baker, and then Tim Mickelson. So he's actually 4th overall in the scoring department. And also a little bit further down from him, Siabelo Sinatla, South African Union player. Carlin Isles was on there too, so it's a bit of a shame that they did lose him. I think that was due to some injuries and just decided that it was time to hang up the boots, maybe get some new blood into the side. But the second half now underway, and the Fijians get themselves the first penalty of the second half. It seems like that last-minute try that they got in the first half may have just been the momentum that they need. Now, Natungu inside ball to my Samoa. It's going to be a foot race between him and Malashi Esdale, who is just jogging after him. That's at the hands of Esdale. But now I don't believe he'll be able to catch Nodovalo. No, he doesn't. And that is the second try of the match now for Fiji. And that 1 minute is all it took for Fiji to get those 14 points back in 2015, says Ollie. So you're going mini golfing and soccering in 2025, I should say, rather than 2015. But my Samoa tried to find the pass to Nodovalo. It did end up hitting the hand of Esdale, which slowed down the ball gradually, but wasn't quite enough to knock it away from the Fijian path. Now I see Natungu. Kick's gone over. That will now make the score 14 points to 14 after 8 minutes in this one. 48 tries for Nodovalo, so he is getting extremely close to the 50. Only needs another 2. It's gone just the 10 meters. Slapped back by Fiji, and they regain the ball off their own kickoff. Natungu now going across to Josetha Tadafolo. So there's quite a few USA players all right next to that breakdown at the moment. Which means that if they can get it out wide, they could find success. Right, the Wi-Fi is back, ladies and gentlemen. That went weird. But pretty much all that you missed was the USA got the turnover in the breakdown. They're on the halfway line. I hope that this continues working Wi-Fi wise for the rest of the live stream, but I cannot guarantee it. So if we randomly cut out, I can guarantee you it's not because of the end of the live stream. It is just because of the Wi-Fi issue. I think we could play a mini golf after our soccer tournament, says Ollie. Is that a soccer tournament with me in it, Ollie? Now, Kevin Williams. Nice low tackle made on him by Jerry Tuwai. Norton was good to watch back when he played Cezanoi. Now Schrader goes across again. LeCamp out wide. Now Esdale tackled low by Maisamo. LeCamp looking for the pass over the top, and Fiji managed to steal the ball. And now it's going to be a runaway chance here. It looks like they won't be able to catch Batita Ringa. And that is another try for Fiji. They now take the lead in this contest for the first time in the game. The Fijians. Just classic Fijian rugby here. Get in the turnover, Filippo Saturanga, and then it was just available for them to get that short pass away. Ball flew to the try line after that when Batita Ringa was jogging it in. Now, 19 points to 14 here with the kick to come, which will make it 21. Go, just like that. 3 minutes, 15 remaining, and the Fijians still seem like they've got quite a bit of juice left in their tank. Because the USA who are looking a little bit depleted now after the quick place that the Fijians have been able to keep up throughout this contest. Deep breaths being taken here. A couple new USA players making their way onto the field. I believe that was Peter V, who's made his way out there, and also I think Ryan Santos might get an opportunity at some stage throughout the second half. Nicely taken there by, it was Neymar Falao. I had to make sure I had that name right. Oh, Nufe on the field as well. I think the USA have actually made a majority of their subs. Esdale. It's out wide. Thinking about that next pass. Lucas LeCamp tackled well. Finding, no, it's going to be a knock on the ground. So the Fijians will end up with the scrum feed. 2 minutes, 15 remaining, and this is using up more time on the clock. Now, I will mention we do not have golden point time in these group stage matches. If it is a draw, that is exactly how it finishes. That would be 2 points per team, and that always adds a little bit more interest into that pool, of course, because anyone can make it. Now, the South Africans are the only side in this group to have lost a game so far. Now, Anufe out there on the park. Always pleasure to watch those new fellows into the team do well. Now going off to the right-hand side, Jerry Tuwai now stepping beautifully. It's wrestled down, ball available there, and the penalty goes the way of Fiji. 90 seconds remaining. They've now got to make that decision. Do they kick it for the corner, or do you take the quick tap and try and keep this game moving forward? Right, they're going to be taking the scrum here, Fiji. Tuwai about to feed this ball in here for the Fijians, and just the experience. He would have been telling them at halftime, don't panic. Just make sure we do the simple things right. See how we go from there. Now Jerry Tuwai feeding the ball in for the Fijians. 45 seconds now remaining on the clock. Now goes with the short offload. Nice fin from Nadovalo. Fiji looking like they might be in retreating mode at the moment, just trying to... Oh, that was pulling the hair. That was a bit dirty. from the USA number 7. I wouldn't be surprised if my son Mo has a bit of a crack at him after that. Now, Joe Schroeder, going to be an advantage in favour of the USA. I thought they knocked that ball on there with Joe Schroeder. Anufe, now the advantage is over, but the ball on the outside to Malachi Isdale. Oh no, Talatholo just lets him go around the outside. And controversy, but the USA are going to score it between the sticks. This game is going to end in a draw, ladies and gentlemen. I just talked about how it adds that little bit more spice into a group stage. Isdale runs around the outside. Yeah, I was quite surprised that there was no penalty there for the hair pull on Manueli Samoa. But the kick has gone over from Thomasine. That will be full time. 21 points to 21 in this contest. It is a draw to finish off this matchup between the Fijians and the USA. So the next game that is going to be taking place that we are covering on the channel will actually be South Africa taking on Fiji. That is at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. We will be covering that one, so be sure to check that out. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We've also got Super Rugby coming up in the very near future. Yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.